What's up, world? Welcome back to the channel. APW Sports signing in, and the preseason is over, which means we are about a week away from the kickoff of the 2023 NFL season. Rosters are being trimmed as we speak, and it is time to give my rankings of each team after the preseason heading into week 1 of this season. But before that, make sure you guys leave this video a like as it continues to help this channel to grow. And if you are not subbed, go ahead and click the subscribe button and notification bell so you will not miss a video. But without further ado, let's dive into it. Today's video is brought to you by ExpressVPN. For me, it is very important to have a VPN to protect my online privacy. It'd be very, very creepy if there was someone out there who kept a log of every single thing that you did online. So why let your internet provider really do that to you online? The best thing to do is to get yourself a VPN, and why not go with the ExpressVPN, the best VPN available. Personally, I like it for the fact that you can unlock Netflix shows that you do not get in the US market. Now, one show that I've started to get myself into is Brooklyn Nine-Nine. You search Brooklyn Nine-Nine in the US, doesn't come up, but you can switch your location to Canada and you can research Brooklyn Nine-Nine again, and bam, it pops up right then and there, and you can catch up on your episodes of Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Now, if you click the link in the description below, you will get 3 free months of ExpressVPN. Just by clicking the link below and you sign up today, you will get 3 months free of ExpressVPN. All you have to do is click the link down below and you will get ExpressVPN. Now, let's just get back to the video. I'm going to get my team out of the way first. I'm going to the Chicago Bears. I'm going to get them to a P tier. A lot of people are going to say after Saturday's preseason game that there's a reason to panic. Like I said, it's not. I like what this offense could be capable of. Defensively, we have to see everybody back together. I believe that the Bears are right there on that B tier as a football team heading into 2023. Next is the Arizona Cardinals. I think they're probably going to have one of the worst records in the NFL. Kyler Murray being out to God knows how when, if he even plays at all this year. For them, I'm going to put the Arizona Cardinals at a D. The Atlanta Falcons, I think they could probably be a tier below the Bears at this point. I'm not trusting Desmond Ridder as of yet. He has not looked bad this preseason. For now, I'm going to put him in that Falcons team on that C tier level. I like what they did with Bijan. We're interested to see what we can get for Drake London in year 2. How can Kyle Pitts continue to develop? What is that defense going to look like? But I'm going to put the Falcons at a C. Next is the Baltimore Ravens. I'm going to put them at an A tier for now. They still have some question marks with their secondary, at least in my opinion. Offensively, what is this team going to be with OBJ, Lamar, J.K. Dobbins probably be back healthy, and Zay Flowers, who they added? Is this passing game going to elevate? I hope it does for the Ravens' sake. I think it will be. We all know what the running game could be with Lamar and his legs and JK and the guys that they have. How is this passing game going to elevate for them coming into 2023? What is the defense going to look like with Roquan Smith having a full season as in Baltimore Ravens? So we're going to see how that's going to look for them, but I've had them at an A tier for the moment. Next is the Buffalo Bills. I've always had them at one of the top tier teams in football. I probably would say this is my team that I root for outside the Bears, of course. I love what they are. Josh Allen, my favorite quarterback to watch. Stephon Diggs, he's been able to do. Von Miller can be back healthy. Tre'Davious White on their defense. Jordan Poyer, Micah Hyde. And also shout out to DeMar Hamlin for even coming back to play football. James Cook, I think, is going to be a breakout player for this Buffalo Bills roster. So expect the Bills to be right there in contention again for a Super Bowl championship. Next is the Carolina Panthers. I'm going to put them at a C for now. Just for now, I'm going to put them at a C tier. believe in Bryce Young. I think he can do some things with this Panthers offense with Adam Thielen and Miles Sanders brought into the fold, but it's just a wait and see. I think this defense is going to tell what all they're going to do. I believe that this defense can be a very solid defense, but it's just, will they live up to it? And can Bryce Young continually improve as the season goes on? I don't have them in the bottom tier just yet, even though it's a possibility that they can end up there with Frank Wright in his first year as head coach, but I'm just going to put them there for now. Next is the Cincinnati Bengals. I'm having them at the S tier. Now, it's interesting to see how that safety core is going to play out with Von Bell and Jesse Bates now out of the door, with Jesse Bates going to the Falcons and Von Bell going to the Carolina Panthers, and also Von Bell from The Ohio State University. I'm just interested to see how that's going to play out. Now, we have Joe Burrow's calf injury. Is that going to be fully healed before the season? I believe so. They haven't really said too much as of now, at least to my memory. The Cincinnati Bengals are still going to be a team right there in Super Bowl contention in the AFC. Next is the Cleveland Browns. I'm going to have them at a B tier. Now, we get Deshaun Watson there for a full season of playing time. Nick Chubb, I believe one of the more underrated players, not just running backs, players that we have in the NFL. Amari Cooper, Donovan Peoples-Jones, what are they going to do? What is this defense going to be like? Can they elevate themselves in 2023? I'm going to have them in a B tier for now. They're in a division which every team in that division has just gotten better, with the Steelers getting better, the Bengals being who they are, and then the Ravens. They're in a very deep division, so I'm going to put them in a B for now. Next is the Dallas Cowboys. I'm going to have them in an A tier. I like Tony Pollard. I like Dak Prescott when he's on his game. He's a very good quarterback. They get Stephon Gilmore to pair with Trayvon Diggs. I think that's going to offset them things at the corner position a little bit. And the Defensive Player of the Year candidate, Micah Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence, those guys. I believe in this defense. It's just, can Dak Prescott stay away from the turnovers? And can they still manage to get a running game? Deuce Vaughn, Miles Davis back in the fold. So I really like what this team is at this moment right now. It's just interesting to see, can they stay away from the turnovers, and can this defense elevate or not elevate, stay on a high level. Next is the Denver Broncos. I think adding Sean Payton to this team, I'm going to have them at a B, even though the last preseason game for them didn't. I think it looked good for them, but I just really like what this team has the possibility of being with Sean Payton. Now, it sucks that Jerry Jeudy is going to be out the first couple of weeks, according to sources, with a hamstring injury. That's going to suck. But Javonte Williams being back can help offset what they can do throwing the football with his ability to run the football. Then you have a defense led by Patrick Surtain II, who I think is one of the top tier corners that we have in the NFL, along with Justin Simmons in the back end. So I really like what this defense has the potential to be. I like what this offense has the potential to be. It's just, can they live up to? Can Russell Wilson have a bounce back season from 2022? The Detroit Lions, this one is tough. It's easy. You can rate the Lions B, but I have them at an A. I think they are a step above the Bears. I think they are a step above the Vikings in this division, and I like what the Lions have done. Even though they're going to be without Jameson Williams for the first 6 games due to the suspension, Amon St. Brown has been really solid. They bring back Marvin Jones. They have a guy like Jahmyr Gibbs, and they brought over David Montgomery from the Bears. And defensively with Aiden Hutchinson and some of the things they brought, Cam Sutton, CJ Gardner-Johnson. I really like what this defense, they've added pieces to a defense that wasn't great last year, and then offensively, even though they lost Jamal Williams, Jahmyr Gibbs, they traded away DeAndre Swift, they got David Montgomery. Jared Goff, can he continue the stellar play that he had towards the end of the year? But I just think what Dan Campbell has done with this football team, they are a step above the Bears and the Vikings in that division. And now that I speak on the Vikings, I'm going to put the Vikings at a B. It's interesting to see, can Kirk Cousins continue his good play? He had MVP considerates, and earlier in the year, Justin Jefferson, we all know what he can be. Is Jordan Addison going to be a guy that can come in and help this football team? They lose Dalvin Cook and Alexander Madison break out. Defensively, they lose Eric Kendricks in free agency, and they lose Patrick Peterson in free agency. So what is this team going to be on the defensive side of the ball? That's my biggest question for the Minnesota Vikings, is can this team be a good defensive unit? It wasn't a great defensive unit last year, and the offense had to carry them through quite a few of those games, and they won a lot of close games this year. Are they going to be able to repeat that this year? It's going to be hard to do. I just Have to see what this defense looks like in full strength for me to elevate them above the B. And speaking of the division, the Green Bay Packers, I'm going to put them at a C. I think the play of this team drops off from Aaron Rodgers, of course. Can Jordan Love be the guy? That is the biggest question for them going into this year. Can Jordan Love be that guy? Christian Watson showed flashes last year. You have a great running back tandem with A.J. Dillon and Aaron Jones. So they have the pieces there offensively somewhat. I still think they can use a little bit of help of receiver. And defensively, what is this unit going to be? Jair Alexander, we all know he is one of the better corners that we have in the NFL. And can this defense really be solid? Now, like I said, Jordan Love is the biggest question mark. Can he be the guy? And his football team, I think, was carried through a lot of that by Aaron Rodgers last year, and they lose that. So I think they're going to take a step below, even though this is one of the younger teams on the rise. So I'll just leave that at that. Houston Texans, as much as I'm going to be rooting for C.J. Stroud out of the Ohio State University as the quarterback, it's still a lot of work to be done with the Houston Texans. Are they going to be at that number 1, number 2 overall pick again? Possibly. I just don't think that they have a lot of the good weapons around him, and Nathaniel Dell's a very good solid weapon. Robert Woods is getting a little older, and Pierce in the backfield has been very good for them. So defensively, I'm still waiting on some things. Petre has been very good. Can Stingley break out? But I like some of the things that the younger pieces that they have. I just still think that this is too young of a football team to really be competing in anything right now. This season for them should be all about the development of C.J. Stroud. I will just leave that at that. The Indianapolis Colts, I hate to do it, and especially if Jonathan Taylor gets traded, that's a D-tier football team. That is a D-tier football team. If Jonathan Taylor gets traded, D-tier. I just don't think that this team is going to be, I'd say, very good. Defensively, you do have Shaquille Leonard coming back. He missed a ton of games last year. I just don't think this team is a very good unit right now. And this season, just like the Texans, should be the development of Anthony Richardson. It should really be all about the development of him for this football team in 2023. Now, the Jacksonville Jaguars, it's crazy to do it, but I'm going to put them in the A tier right now. I love the elevation of Trevor Lawrence. Travis Etienne, he showed himself to be a very productive player in this league. Defensively, I think they could be a very good unit with Jenkins and Josh Allen coming out the pass rush up front. I believe that this Jaguars team can be better, and I think the play of Trevor Lawrence and the continued elevation of Lawrence can help this football team be a better team than they were last year. Now, they are in a bad division in the AFC South, so I'm going to take that into account a little bit too. But I just believe this Jaguars team and the things that they built with Doug Peterson as the head coach could be a very good football team going into 2023. Next, we're going to have the Kansas City Chiefs, and it's hard to count them out with Patrick Mahomes. It's hard to count this football team out with Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes running things on that offense. The question mark for them, in my opinion, is what pass catchers are going to show themselves other than Travis Kelce. Sky Moore, he can be a breakout type of a player. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, Kadarius Toney, even though he has the ability to be hurt. I like what they've done with Pacheco and McKinnon as their running back position and things that they were able to do in their Super Bowl run last year. Defensively is the biggest question mark, and the question mark is Chris Jones. We all know what Chris Jones can do, but he's not in camp because of the contract dispute. And I think a lot of the things that this defense is predicated off what the pass rush can do up front. They already lost Frank Clark in the offseason, and now Chris Jones is not in the fold. So what is this defense going to be like? Is the offense going to have to outscore everybody once again? Who knows? But like I said, you can't count on Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. Next is the LA Chargers. I'm going to put them at an A tier. Now, some of their question marks, health. J.C. Jackson missed a lot of time. Joey Bosa missing time. They had Justin Herbert there with rib injuries. They had Mike Williams and Keenan Allen miss time. So their biggest thing is injury. If this team is healthy, this is a very good football team. But the biggest question mark for them is injuries. And also some late game decisions, which ultimately led to them demise against the Jaguars in the playoffs. So late game decision making and injuries have haunted this team last year and the last 2 years. I believe when healthy and when things are going right, this is a very good Chargers team. They just have to stay healthy. And bringing in Quentin Johnston in a draft can help at that wide receiver position, especially due to the health of Mike Williams and a guy like Keenan Allen. Bringing Austin Eckler back was a big deal for them. I think this is a very good Chargers team. Next is the LA Rams. Oh, this one's tough because I could see them as C team. I could see them as a D team. And I hate to do it with Stafford and Cup and some of the things that they could do as an offense, but this defense is, outside of Aaron Donald, of course, is just not there anymore. Jalen Ramsey gone. A lot of the pieces that they had over the last couple of years, Leonard Floyd gone, Von Miller left earlier in last year, so they just don't have a lot of the pieces defensively that they once had. Offensively, we know what they can be with the designing of Sean McVay and Matthew Stafford. If he can stay healthy, Cooper Kupp can be healthy, but I just don't know what to make of this defense. It's just not very good. Next is the Las Vegas Raiders. This one is a tough team for me to rank, but I'm going to put them at a B. Jimmy G, if healthy, can be a productive quarterback. We all know what Devontae Adams is as a wide receiver. Josh Jacobs back in the fold. They just renegotiated and extended his contract. And Hunter Renfrow. Can Jacoby Myers be an added productive piece? My question with them is the secondary. My question with them the last couple of years has been the secondary. We all know what Chandler Jones and Max Crosby can be as pass rushers, but the secondary is the biggest question mark for this Las Vegas Raiders team, which is why I cannot elevate them above the B. And also the question marks of can Jimmy G stay healthy for a full 16 games? So I'm going to have to put the Raiders at a B. Next is the Miami Dolphins. I have them as an A-tier team if Tua is healthy. If Tua is healthy, we know Jalen Ramsey is probably going to miss some time early on in the year. Xavier Howard, one of the better corners in the game. I think those two, when healthy, best cornerback duo that we have right now. Now, the running back position, Myles Gaskin, running back position, Jeff Wilson Jr., running back with Raheem Mostert. Can they stay healthy and be productive? We all know what Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill could do at that wide receiver position. But the biggest question mark for this Miami Dolphins team is the health of Tua. And we all know what Tua looked like when healthy last year. They were in a very explosive offense led by Mike McDaniel. But the biggest question mark is Tua's health. And assuming he's healthy, I'm going to put them in the A tier. Next is the New England Patriots. I'm going to have them at a C tier. I still don't think this is a very good football team. They're in a loaded division with the Dolphins, with the Bills, and with the Jets. I think they're going to finish fourth in that division, in my opinion. Can Mac Jones elevate? Can he get back some of the things that he was doing during his rookie year? Can his offense really be a good offense? Ramondre Stevenson, I like him in the backfield, but defensively, they have a lot of pieces been gone over the last couple of years. Kyle Duggar, I think, is going to elevate to a breakout type of a player. It's just, what is this defense going to be? And can Mac Jones kind of get some of that rookie year mojo back? Next is the New Orleans Saints. I'm going to put the Saints at a C tier for the moment, and I think they're probably going to end up winning that division by default. Right now, can Derek Carr elevate this offense? Can Michael Thomas be a full healthy target from The Ohio State University? Chris Olave from The Ohio State University. I think you can have another great year for them. And they have a defense led by Cam Jordan, Marshawn Lattimore from The Ohio State University. Demario Davis is one of the more underrated linebackers that we have in football. He's been playing very solidly throughout his career with the Saints. They have a very good defense. I think they were a quarterback away last year from having a solid play and possibly winning that NFC South division. And I think with Derek Carr now in the fold for them as an offense, I think they're going to win the division, but I cannot put them at an A right now, mainly because of the Alvin Kamara suspension. What is Jamal Williams going to be with this offense? Taysom Hill, we all know, is a weapon. It's just hard for me to put this team at an A tier because defensive side of the ball, especially the guys are getting older. Next is the New York Giants. I'm going to put the Giants at a B. I am not a fan of Daniel Jones. I am not a big believer in Daniel Jones, and I still believe that they should have paid Saquon first over Daniel Jones. But it's just a quarterback's league. It's a quarterback-driven league, and if you think you need one, you think you got it, pay him. But personally, for me, I've never been a big fan of Daniel Jones. They have Isaiah Hodgins at wide receiver, Darius Slayton. I don't think Daniel Jones is just that guy. I just don't. I still don't. Defensively, Kayvon Thibodeau played well late last year. Leonard Williams up front for that defensive front, and I think this is a very solid football team. Can they repeat what they did last year? I'm not sure, so I'm going to have them at a B. I do like Brian Daboll is a head coach for them, but it's just, I don't think they have some talent on the outside or the back end of their defense. The New York Jets, I'm going to put the Jets in the A tier for now. As much as I hate Aaron Rodgers, I love Garrett Wilson because he went to The Ohio State University. And I think that pairing could be a very good pairing for them. Can Breece Hall be healthy? What is Dalvin Cook going to bring to this football team? They bring Allen Lazard in. They bring Mecole Hardman in. They have weapons at wide receiver. This defense is a top 5 defense easily with Sauce Gardner, DJ Reed, Jermaine Johnson, I think is going to have a breakout year. CJ Mosley, Quentin Williams up front. I like this football team a lot. As much as I don't like Aaron Rodgers as a Bears fan, I have to give it to them. They have one of the better rosters in the NFL, and I'm going to put them at an A tier for the moment. Next is the Philadelphia Eagles. Surprise, surprise, A tier. Jalen Hurts coming back, Devontae Smith. You have Rashad Penny brought in at running back, DeAndre Swift, who they acquired in the trade, and this defense unit is just still a great defensive unit. Fletcher Cox, Brandon Graham. You have Jalen Carter, who they brought in. You have Darius Slay. I believe this is a very good defensive unit. James Bradbury, still one of the solid offensive lines that we have in the league. And I think from top to bottom, this is probably one of the more complete rosters that we have in the NFL. It's just my opinion. That's why they're in the A tier. Next is the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're at a B tier, and they can easily move up if they get more out of Kenny Pickett at that quarterback position. He started to play well late in last year. George Pickens started to elevate himself. I think he's going to have a very good year too. You have that defense led by TJ Watt, Minka Fitzpatrick, Cam Hayward from The Ohio State University. And I think what this team can be as a success is going to be based off that offensive line and the running game and Najee Harris. If they get quality play at that running back position, if they get quality play in their running game, I think that is going to help elevate this football team. But I just think their success, of course, is predicated on Kenny Pickett being a better passer, but also the running game. They get that, I think they're going to be one of the better teams. That's just me. And of course, Mike Tomlin never finishes under 500, so you can't put him anything below a B. Just to say that. Next is the Seattle Seahawks. I'm going to put them at a B tier as well. I love Jackson Smith-Njigba from The Ohio State University, but he's dealing with an injury. DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett, a 3 wide receiver head duo. Geno Smith, who had a resurgent 2022, cannot continue into 2023. That's a question. Jamal Adams coming back for that defensive unit. Quadre Diggs, Tariq Woolen. They added Witherspoon in the draft. So I do like some of the things that they've done. Can this defensive unit step up? Kenneth Walker in the backfield. I love what he can do. I saw him at Michigan State, and I love the things that he's brought to the Seattle Seahawks offense. It's just, can Geno Smith continue that solid play from 2022, and can that defense elevate to a higher level in 2023? That is the question mark for the Seattle Seahawks. Next is the San Francisco 49ers, also a very deep roster. Deebo Samuel, George Kittle, Christian McCaffrey, that was a big trade, a big steal for them. Brandon Ayuk has been elevating himself, so I love this offense. Can Brock Purdy kind of recapture some of that magic that he had at the end of the 2022 year? Defensively, now we still don't have Nick Bosa in camp yet due to the contract dispute, but I think he's going to come back at some point. That defensive unit led by Fred Warner is one of the better defensive units that we have in the NFL still. Now, they do lose D'Amico Ryans to DC as he went over to the Texans to take their head coaching job. I still believe this is a very good defense, and with Kyle Shanahan coaching that offense, they are going to be a very good football team in 2023. Next is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I have them at a C tier. They still have some of the names on defense with Levante David, Devin White, but offensively, what are they going to get at the quarterback position? Can Baker Mayfield have some type of resurgence for this football team? We all know what Mike Evans and Chris Godwin can do as a duo at the wide receiver position. What are they going to get out of the running game? And what are they going to get out of the quarterback position? And can that defense still have some very good football left in it? They won a division last year, but it was so bad by default, so I'm going to put them at a C. Next is the Houston Texans. The Tennessee Titans, excuse me. This is a tough team to gauge because we just don't know what they're going to get out of some of those receiving core. We don't know what DeAndre Hopkins is going to be. I'm going to put them at a C for now. But Tannehill, I don't think is going to last a year. What they're going to do at quarterback after Derrick Henry, we all know what he is, but he's had some kind of a health things over the last couple of years. That defensive unit, I just don't believe is very good, to be honest. And you're talking about a football team that I think needs to rebuild at this point. So I'm going to put the Titans at a C. And last but not least, the Washington Commanders. I'm going to put them at a B. I love their defense with Jonathan Allen, Deron Payne, Chase Young from The Ohio State University. Offensively, Jahan Dotson had a very good rookie year last year. to pair with Terry Corn from the Ohio State University. Robinson in the backfield, but the biggest question mark, quarterback, Sam Howell. What are they going to get from him? They brought in Jacoby Brissett as a backup. What are they going to get out of Sam Howell? I love their defensive unit, and I love some of the weapons on offense, but the biggest question mark, quarterback. He played well during the preseason. He had a good showing during the last game of the regular season last year. Can he elevate in year 2 of his career? I don't think the Commanders are going to be a playoff team or anything like that, but I do think that their defense is very good, and I just want to see what they're going to get out of Sam Howell at quarterback. But hey, these are my rankings for heading into week 1 of 2023. If you guys agree or disagree, feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments, and as well, click the like button, and as well, click the subscribe button. But I am APW Sports signing out. Make sure you guys stay safe. Have a great next day, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.